The Education Department has allowed blended learning beyond November for private schools. Full face-to-face classes will push through, though, for public schools next month. Media workers have expressed their alarm over unannounced visits made by the police, saying it causes unease and violates their right to privacy. Lawmakers flagged the supposed VIP treatment extended to Juanito Remulla III, the son of Justice Secretary Boying Remulla. Mugshots of Remulla III had been blurred prior to release, and the suspect has reportedly refused to undergo drug testing. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's a roundup of stories we're watching now. I'm Sean Yao. Media personnel have expressed alarm over unannounced visits from the police. To tell us more about this initiative, we have Colonel Jean Fajardo joining us over the phone. Colonel Jean, good evening. Thank you for joining us. First off, who ordered these visits to be done or to be conducted by the NCRPO? Sino po yung nagbigay ng utos?
Good evening, Ma'am Sean, and to all your televiewers tonight. First of all, there was no written directive that was given by the PNP National Headquarters. With respect to the visitation to some of residences of our media practitioner, the directive instruction came from the leadership of PNP National Capital Region Police Office.
All right, and yung mga addresses po, who was able to procure, or where were you guys able to procure the addresses of the different journalists whose houses were visited by police personnel? Were these visits made in random or were they planned ahead?
When the instructions were given to the district directors down to the chief of police and station commanders, the station commanders directed the respective personnel to coordinate with the barangay officials to ask whether there are media practitioners residing in their particular area of responsibility. And once confirmed that there were indeed the residents in that area, they will request the barangay officials to help them locate and possibly talk to the media practitioners so that they will personally check on their status, and if there's a need to provide security, if they are receiving any threat with regards to their personal safety, then the PNP is willing to provide one for them.
All right. Well, that is well and good. And of course, the PNP has said this was done in good faith and with the purest intentions. But of course, we would like to know, is this normal if someone goes to the barangay? Is the barangay at liberty to just disclose personal information such as places of residences or addresses?
We normally coordinate with the barangay officials in some of our police activity being conducted in barangay. In this case, Ma'am Sean, because there is an instruction for our PNP personnel to check on the status and of our media practitioner, they exerted effort to confirm if there are some residents in their respective areas of jurisdiction. But if I may also add, Ma'am Sean, prior to this visitation, there were already a series of consultative dialogues and meetings to some members of the media, particularly those who are members of the PNP Press Corps. However, we understand that not all media are members of the PNP Press Corps. So we understand that the efforts of the PNP and CRPO to go extra mile in reaching out to our media practitioners who are not members of the PNP Press Corps. This is where the initiative happened, wherein we, like I said, we coordinated with the barangay officials to check if there are residents in their area of responsibility. And at the time, they conducted visitation in those identified areas where there are media practitioners that are residing.
All right, thank you for that clarification, Colonel Fajardo. Now, another issue that has, of course, risen to the surface is that some of these policemen supposedly were in civilian clothing or in plain clothes and they were also, I think, riding unmarked vehicles. That was also brought up. Are there any guidelines on how these visits are to be conducted? So moving forward, media practitioners will know what is, within protocol and outside of protocol.
We understand the concern raised by some of our media practitioners with respect to the the unannounced visitation in the respective residences. And this is now the subject of the inquiry investigation. If there are some policy and guidelines violated by the PNP personnel, particularly who came in civilian clothes and unannounced, whether there are some violations committed, and this is now the center of the issue now, and we really apologize for the inconvenience to some of our media practitioners, and I understand the efforts of PNP and CRPO caused some alarm and some reservation, and this issue is being looked into by the PNP leadership, and we assured everyone that the PNP leadership will look into this, and some now are undergoing investigation, and on the part of the PNP and CRPO, I understand they already reached out to some of the concerned media practitioners, and they are open. And in fact, the PNP leadership is open to conduct more consultative dialogue and meetings to iron out this issue, and of course, get their suggestion and recommendation on how to further strengthen the relationship between and among the PNP and the PNP and the media practitioners, ma'am.
All right, one last quick follow-up question, Colonel Jean. So I understand this initiative has been put on pause, at least for now. You've, of course, mentioned pending more consultative sessions with media practitioners or between media practitioners and the police force. Moving forward, do you think these visits will continue, at least, after the proper guidelines have been set in stone and released to concerned parties?
Considering there is an issue with respect to the house visitation, I think these efforts will be put to stop totally, unless, of course, there will be a agreement on the part of the PNP and the media members that they will be okay in accommodating this house of visitation. But in the absence of any clear intention on the part of the media practitioner that they will allow our PNP personnel, then I think this house visitation will be totally stopped.
All right, thank you so much for clarifying everything for us, and thank you as well for your time, Colonel Jean Fajardo of the PNP, over the phone. Thank you, ma'am. And in other news, Chinese President Xi Jinping has laid out the Communist Party's agenda for the next 5 years at the opening of the ruling party's 20th Congress. Let's hear some of the key takeaways from his speech in this video from Bloomberg.
我们必须增强忧患意识。
Xi defended his signature COVID-0 policy, saying it protects people and the economy. He avoided giving a timeline for a change in that strategy, which has become a source of growing frustration among the public. China has long stressed that its development path is unique. Xi repeated the slogan from previous party Congress speeches that economic development is the party's top priority, even as he twice mentioned the need to balance development with security. President Xi pledged his nation will prevail in its fight to develop strategically important tech, underscoring Beijing's concern over a US campaign to separate it from cutting-edge chip capabilities. On Taiwan, Xi said the wheels of history are rolling toward reunification, adding it can without a doubt be realized. He also called the Taiwan dispute a Chinese matter, pushing back at the US. He set out plans to intensify military training and introduce new strategies and tactics for the armed forces. Xi has vowed to modernize the once infantry-dominated military by 2027.
One News Now will be back with more stories after this quick break. Keep it here. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. Embattled Justice Secretary Boying Remulla resumes work at the DOJ despite a pending drug case against his son. Marlene Alcaide with the report.
Justice Secretary Boying Remulla appeared before officials and employees of the DOJ days after the arrest of his eldest son, Juanito C. Remulla III.
Good morning. Dito sa DOJ, sa lahat ng mga sumasailalim na opisina sa atin, karamihan ng trabaho natin ang deadline kahapon pa. So let's all go back to work. Good morning.
Last week, Juanito III was caught in possession of high-grade marijuana worth more than 1 million pesos. Critics were too quick to call for Secretary Boying's resignation, but in an online interview with Anthony Taberna, Remulla remained unfazed.
Nagre-resign po ako, pero it never entered my mind and it will not because I know I have a clear conscience.
This is a temporary setback and I will not devote all my time to this case.
He reiterated that he will not intervene or use his power to influence his son's case.
Hindi ho aabot siya sa DOJ na sapagkat may mga paraan naman dyan na wag na hong i-dribble ang bola.
Wala ho kong pakialam dyan. Hindi ko po, wala ho kung tinotolerate na kalokohan sa buhay ko. Kahit kailan po. Hindi po ako nag-tolerate. At drugs lalo na.
Remulla even added that the charges against his son are proof that the country's justice system is working. But House Deputy Minority Leader Franz Castro called out the supposed special treatment for Remulla's son. Castro cited the delay before the case was publicized and the blurred mugshots provided by authorities.
Parang hindi pare-pareho yung ginagawang treatment. Na kung ikaw ay nasa gobyerno, malakas or merong influence, ay talagang tinitreat ng maayos. Pero kapag pangkaraniwan ay hindi
She said they will file a resolution in Congress to seek clarification on how the case was handled. Meanwhile, the National Police confirmed that Remulla III refused to undergo drug test. The PNP said that there is nothing wrong with this since the prosecution already has enough evidence to charge the suspect for possession of illegal drugs.
Manaayon pa rin po sa batas dahil ang sinampa po sa kanya nga po ay possession and probably yun nga po possibly sa transporting.
The younger Remulla is now facing a case for violating the Comprehensive Dangerous Drugs Act, as well as complaints in relation to customs rules and importation of illegal drugs. For News 5, Marlene Alcaide, we are One News.
And here's a quick look at today's other top stories. The NDRRMC reports that nearly 28,000 people, or 7,500 families in 3 regions, had been affected by Typhoon Neneng. As of Monday morning, over 700 individuals remained in evacuation centers. The Education Department has allowed private schools to continue implementing blended learning beyond November. On the other hand, full face-to-face classes will push through next month in public schools, except in disaster-hit areas. And oil firms announced another price hike for fuel products effective Tuesday, October 18. Gasoline prices will be going up by 80 centavos per liter, while diesel will be more expensive by 2 pesos and 70 centavos a liter. And for more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I am Sean Yao. We are One News.